Hi, welcome back to Delilahs Spiritual Spot. I'm Delilah Rose, coming with your weekly reading for Taurus, and this is going to be for the week of October 5th to October 11th. Time is flying. We're going to get into this. I'm going to use my Queen of the Moon Oracle deck to pull some overarching message or the vibe for this reading. As I'm shuffling, please take this opportunity to like, share, and subscribe. Also on screen is information to the podcast, to my website, and blog. So let's just get into this. We have action. Card number 15, numerically a 6. We have growth. Card number 5. We have patience. You know, action is not without patience. Sometimes action is calculated. You know, it's calculated, it's thought out, it's being patient for the results. You know, there's growth when there's action. I love this reading so far. So I'm going to use my 5-cent tarot. I'll draw 3 piles. The first 3 cards I'll draw is subconscious, next pile is conscious, third pile is advice and or outcome from outcome, and then underneath will be clarification cards. For those of you who are on my podcast, pictures will be up on the blog for each sign, so you'll get a picture of the card so you'll see what I'm talking about as you listen to the podcast. So let's get into this shuffle. Gonna spray some sage, clear this energy. Let's get into this. What does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to know? Yes. Ace of Needles or Ace of Swords. 4 of Needles or 4 of Swords. Ace of Needles in the subconscious, 4 needles in the conscious, 7 of Needles. There's some swiftness coming here. All these swords mean speed of action. So this reading will probably occur during the time period I am discussing, October 5th to October 11th. I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. We have Temperance. Clarifying the ace. We have Justice, clarifying the 4 of Needles. And we have the 9 of Pentacles, or the 9 of Buttons, as this card says, clarifying this 7 of Needles. We have 2 Patience cards out on the board, or out on my tarot cloth here. That is amazing. So let's get into this. We have action, growth, and patience. This totally relates to all these cards that are on here. All these cards are saying exactly what these oracle cards are saying. It's time to act, but we want to take some time before we act. We want to have some patience with ourselves and some patience with our growth. We don't want to grow too fast. You know, sometimes we, as humans, we can't handle a heavy load. I mean, we can handle a heavy load, but we can't overburden ourselves, because during this time, right, it's getting towards the holidays. Some of us are not working. We're thinking about money. We're thinking about the end of the year. We're thinking about life changes. If you keep piling that plate, it's going to break. So have patience. Try to tackle a few things at a time instead of carrying too much on your back. During the tough time, I just literally had this conversation 5 minutes ago with a good friend of mine. We were talking about having the most growth and breakthroughs through the trials and tribulations we had. That is when growth happens. That's when you learn the most, or that's when you're supposed to learn the most, because if not, you know what happens again? You repeat. and you repeat, and you will repeat the cycle over and over and over again. So let's get into the subconscious mind. Subconsciously, we know there's a breakthrough happening. We're hoping for a breakthrough. We're wishing. Clarifying that card says that we need to have patience. We need to have patience, because if we try to force things, it may sway the pendulum in another direction. Things may not go our way. I'm using my Light Seers Tarot to clarify some of these cards. And I'll do that in a second, actually. Consciously, we need some respite. We need some reserved. We need to have some introspection, which relates to patience and growth. And just wait a minute. Just wait. Have time to recuperate, have time to get your thoughts in order. Like I said, just take the time not to overburden yourself. We have the Justice card beneath that. We actually have two balance cards here. So let's talk about that. So, right, patience, I said patience, is actually the Temperance card. So Temperance, balancing this Ace of Swords, right, talks about balancing your emotions, right? So your mind and your spirit. We need a balance between your heart and your head, because when one takes over, the other one is suppressed. So we don't want to suppress your logic or your heart. We want them to work in concert with each other. That's where you have your breakthrough. That is in your subconscious mind. So subconsciously, you need to have this breakthrough. You're trying to get it. You'll get it through the balance of temperance, along with the patience to just let things evolve organically, not to force it. That doesn't mean not to act. It means to act and then wait. Wait for some type of result or some type of information that is missing for the whole picture, is what I'm getting from Spirit. Again, with this in the conscious mind, you know that you need to sit back, you need to have some type of introspection, and you need to take a break and recuperate with this Four of Swords. What's clarifying that is the Justice card. The Justice card is saying, listen, there's going to be a balance here. There's going to be a balance here, because you're taking, or you should be taking, the time out. You're thinking about it consciously. You're trying to make that effort. The divine or spirit is meeting you halfway with that. In the advice from Spirit and or the outcome, this is the advice from Spirit. We have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords is telling you, no matter what you've been through, right? Remember, I talked about having growth during the hard times. Don't let that betrayal, don't let that heartache, don't let that deception hold you back from fulfilling your goals in life. And this can be broad, right? Like I said, I think I said earlier, this looks like this is going to be a general read for Taurus, because generally we can all apply this. Every single last one of us can apply this reading to our life. Don't let your past hurt from heartache, right, kill your blessing of a new relationship. Don't let your past mistakes with money hold you back from making more money. Don't let your past fears hold you back from moving forward in jobs, in going to school, in anything in your life. This is just telling you to take a minute. Take a minute. This tough crap you went through is going to give you that growth, because you're taking the action now to have it. But let's have a little patience here. Spirit told you here, and Spirit told you here. Take a 5-minute break. Step back. assess what's going on. Clarifying the Seven of Needles or Seven of Swords is the Nine of Pentacles or the Nine of Buttons in this deck. It's self-fulfillment, right? So it's abundance of the earthly, but I just think this means abundance to whatever you're trying to do in your life, Taurus. It's going to be a self-fulfilling thing. It's going to feed your mind, body, and spirit. You're going to be able to get to your goals and move forward. Yeah, you see? Yeah. See here, I pulled some clarifying cards here. Using my Light Seers deck. So on each pile here. So subconsciously, we have our intuition feeding us this information through our subconscious mind. So you're getting cues in your dreams or in your meditative state, or if you just zone out for 5 minutes and you have that aha moment, if you're in the tub, that is your subconscious moving things into your conscious mind. In the conscious mind here, where we have the Four of Swords and the Justice card, we have the Two of Swords. The blindfolds are coming off. You're no longer in your fear. You're no longer, or you're trying not to be in your fear. You're trying not to be in your head. You're taking those blindfolds off and using your intuition, represented also by the Moon card, to move forward. You're listening to your gut. I like that because I'm all about that. We're animals at the end of the day. We have instincts for a reason. In the outcome here, we have the Star card. You know, it's also known as the Make-A-Wish card. So you have this renewed energy. You have hope. There's clarity here. This is also known as the Miracle card because help, money just seems to, it's going to gravitate and fall in your lap. This is like the Luck card. So things are looking very good for you, Taurus, that week. And I'm going to stick with this. Is going to be very important during this week because there's so many swords in this reading. I'm going to pull a crystal gridding card here. Because I love crystals. I'm very into crystals. I actually have a great crystal supplier recommendation who doesn't try to jack the prices up on you. The prices are actually in Canadian dollars, which means if you're in the US, it's cheaper for you. I bought an item today. It was $10 or $9 Canadian. It ended up, no, I'm lying. It was $5 Canadian. It ended up being $3.48 US. Prosperity. Here we go. You're going to be prosperous because if you listen to the advice, take action, right? Take the action necessary because your pain caused all this growth. And you're ready to move forward. But be patient and watch things come to fruition. Don't force it. The prosperity card is here, and the crystal suggested is green garnet or any green crystal or green candle or wearing the color green. It's that law of attraction thing. So you wear green, you think green, green happens. And this is the reading for Taurus, again, for October 5th to October 11th. And I'm Delilah Rose, and this is Delilah's Spiritual Spot.